guys, Chris here from anabolicmen.com, where we bring you 100% research-backed men's health advice. Now today, we're here in the gym, and we're gonna do a little training tutorial, a lot like the muscle up tutorial that I did a few months back, but we're gonna talk about how to get up to 100-pound chin-ups and beyond. And this, we're talking just not even 100 pounds for one, but hitting a, using the weighted chin-up and leveraging it in your training as one of the core movements of your training. So in order to do that, you'll see that around, most guys can really hit the 45-pound weighted chin-ups. Younger guys, if you're a bit older and you're starting weight training older, it might take you a bit longer to get there, but I know most guys have that baseline level of strength that they can do that. But today in this video, I'm going to walk you through a couple scenarios. First off, if you're a beginner and you want to get up, just start doing weighted chin-ups in general, and then have a principle-based progression to get to the 100-pound mark and beyond. And then second off, if you're starting around the 45-pound, 50-pound level, some tricks to get up to 100 pounds quicker than you thought you could. So if you look right here, we've got, this is 100 pounds. So it's really not, it's not that much. Doing it for basically, 5 solid reps, 6 solid reps is really what you want to aim for before you move to the next level. Let's start with the basics. So the basics are, first off, if you have trouble, look for a real bar, a real pull-up bar. We're here in it's kind of like a powerlifting room in the gym, and they have some good equipment. But out in the regular weight room, they usually have those multi-angled grip bars with the slippery grips. I recommend that you just stay away from those. If that's the only thing you have to work with, then just use that, but they're less than ideal. I recommend using a nice flat bar like these. Another thing that really helps in your progression here is using chalk. You see I've got some chalk. You see gym chalk. This stuff, I just bought it at the sporting goods store. It was only like $5 for 2-pack of these, and this will last probably my entire life. So it's not a big deal. Use some gym chalk because it's like an old gymnastics trick. It helps you really absorb the moisture in your hands so you don't have sweaty hands, and then it also helps you grip really well. You'll see that alone is going to help with your pulling strength, because grip can be a limiting factor in a lot of people. The next thing is to get yourself a good dipping belt. There are a lot of good options out there. The Harbinger one with the chain is the basic one that I've used for many years. My friend Greg just came out with this Kino body belt. He came out with this one about a month ago. So I've been using this, and it actually feels a bit better. It distributes the weight better, in my opinion, because instead of just hanging down, it actually clips right here. So you can get it's kind of like the difference between wearing like a school backpack when you're backpacking versus wearing a backpacking backpack, where it sets the weight on your hips. So it feels really, a lot better, and you have more leverage. But I mean, any belt will do. This is just kind of a fancier alternative. I like it. But basically, let's start with the basic pull-ups. Let's say you can do just body weight chin-ups right now, or body weight pull-ups. When do you know if you can go and start doing weighted chin-ups? I'd say if you can do 10 solid body weight chin-ups, you're ready to go start adding weight, because beyond that, you're not gonna really it might be impressive if someone can jump up and do 50 pull-ups or chin-ups, body weight, but at a certain point, there's not really much added benefit to doing that, other than you just get this crazy pump, and you can just walk around like this all day. But the real benefits, the real hormonal benefits that you're gonna get from the training are gonna be when you're in the 5 to 8 rep range, really training for power and always pushing a progressive strength gain. You gotta force your body to hormonally adapt to the strength. So after a certain point in that rep range, you need to start adding weight. So what I recommend you do is just start with something simple, like start with a 5 or a 10 pound, just put it on the weight belt. You'll find that it's really not as hard as you think. It's actually a lot easier, especially when you stay in that rep range. So always aim for the 5 to 8 rep range. You just come up. There you go. So how do you know when you need to move up in weight? Again, when you add the weight, let's say you do 10 pounds in your first week, And the next week, aim to add another 5 pounds. Take advantage of the newbie gains cycle here, because you'll be able to get a lot stronger faster than you think. So try and add 5 pounds a week. If you need to take a down week, a consolidation week, then take a down week. Try and maybe drop down a little bit, or just do lower reps and push for a even potentially higher power output with a bit heavier of a weight. But you can incrementally push up farther and farther, and the newbie gains and the hormonal adaptations that you're going to have in that first 50 to 70 pounds really are going to allow you to progress a lot quicker than guys who are more experienced lifters who take a bigger workload to get a good hormonal response. I talk about that in the equation in my testosterone work principle video. But now let's talk about once you get beyond the 50 pound mark or the 70 pound mark. This is where a lot of guys have a sticking point, where they stop progressing as quickly as they were when they were just starting, and now they start to run into issues. A couple things that you can do. First off, again, the chalk really does help because grip becomes a limiting factor for a lot of people. So using chalk and working on your grip. Another thing that you can do, it's kind of a hack, work on heavy dumbbell shrugs. If you can do basically heavy dumbbell shrugs, if you're using like the 120 dumbbells, and you're doing the shrugs with those, you're gonna be really developing your forearm strength and your grip strength. And that's gonna actually translate pretty well into pulling power here. Something that a lot of guys don't think about is that there are complementary exercises that you can do to enhance limiting factors. Like the weak link in the chain, basically, you can build that link so that it's stronger. Now another thing that you can do, let's say you're stuck at 45, right? Let's say you can't go up 5 or 10 in the next week. I recommend finding use microplates. You can use, say you can't even do, let's say like a lot of gyms have 2.5 pounds, so you could use the 2.5 pound ones. There's also a microplate option. Greg also made these for Kino Body, but these are 1.25 pounds. So really what you do is it allows you, because most people, no matter what, you can add a pound to your lift. So at least you're still achieving the same progression. You're still making progress. You're still forcing your body to adapt to a higher workload every single week. It gets progressively more difficult to do so in bigger increments. So using microplates can be a good option. And we actually have those. We have those, and we have this belt now, the Kino belt, over on the Anabolic Men Marketplace too. That's basically what you've got going on for you for how to get to 100-pound chin-ups. It's really not that difficult, but there are a couple tactics that you can use, like using the chalk, getting even a set of microplates where you're still making a progression every week, so you're not stalling at one level or going backwards. The progression is really what's important. Also, just tracking everything. Track everything so you don't forget. Like if you don't write it down, you're usually going to forget eventually what you did the week before. Maybe you have a bad week. Maybe you have brain fog, stressful work environment or something. You might just forget what's going on. So just tracking it, writing it down in a journal, workout log, whatever, that'll help. Doing things like dumbbell shrugs. Try and identify limiting factors in the whole chain. So the chain is basically your grip, your forearm strength, bicep, and back strength. By doing that, and then also if you have a belt that distributes weight more around your hips and less hanging low, that might help too. But yeah, work on your grip strength. Work on even arm wrestling will help, because it basically builds up all this right here. It's fun too, and gamble, bet your friends. Yeah, that's the progression for getting 100-pound chin-ups. It's not as difficult as you think. Just use a couple of these tactics and use the steady progression model, and you will get there in no time. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can check out more great free information over at anabolicmen.com. And I'll see you on the next video.